disruptive.
America that I fought for.
Weird thing to happen. Hello, one and all. Welcome to this edition of Kitz Corner. Been a fantastic day so far. So Joe Biden is making his rounds in the Carolina coast for his 2024 re-election campaign to, enact democracy again, as from his latest speech that, the importance of how January 6th was such a daring insurrection, the most pointless insurrection of mankind. It's so scary, it's so tactical that we need to reenact democracy. We need to take democracy away from people so we can show people that we need to save democracy again. Because that's basically the idea of his campaign, not actually helping people whatsoever. Recently went to a church, an AME church in South Carolina. And Jake Shields pointed this out. Jake Shields, who's been a vocal voice for pro-Palestinian, he was kicked off of X recently for making pro-Palestinian points and debunking Israel propaganda. Jake Shields points this out. He says, Joe Biden's speech is interrupted by protesters, but unfortunately, Biden is in control of America. Anthony Blinken is. Blinken was installed by AIPAC and answers directly to Israel, not America. So if you're ever unsure of who's actually running the controls, who's actually in the hands of running the country, because basically the way I see a president or a prime minister or any foreign leader is that they're kind of the mascot. Like, a high school, sports team. They're, the mascot is there to make it look like they're the front runners of the show, but really who's in charge of the show is the real players. It's the coaches. It's the people that are really in the powerhouse to enact the controls of running the country. Like Anthony Blinken is telling Joe Biden how to run things. Joe Biden's just there to look like the identity of America. And it's kind of funny because as America is collapsing within, who better to represent America collapsing than a demented freak like Joe Biden? And here's how this all played out at an AME church.
If you really care about the lives lost here, then you should honor the lives lost and call for a ceasefire in Palestine. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Biden's completely clueless now. You could say there that Biden has no idea what the hell to do. Like, you saw him there, like, freeze up. He froze up because he doesn't know what to do. He thought South Carolina was going to be an easy bet for him because he was able to flip it so masterly during the 2020 election. He was able to just flip it on the whim. But now, all of a sudden, oh my God, there's some people that are actually critical of my foreign affairs, and some people are actually smart. I thought this was supposed to be an easy Biden town. Oh no. What do I do? Even when people are chanting for him, he has no idea what to do. Like a scared child. Oh my God. I'll tell you. This makes pro wrestling fans seem smart. When you're chanting 4 more years after hearing the fact that 20,000 Palestinian children have been killed in recent months, and you're just saying 4 more years, 4 more years, 4 more years because you just want it to end. Like, pro wrestling fans definitely have higher IQs than this crowd. I just gotta say. And it's also kind of interesting, not to, point this fact out, but it is note to mention that, look at how um pale and white the crowd really is in this apparently black church. Not to be, race baiting on this, but is it kind of interesting? Is it kind of interesting? And we've seen, how campaigns and, presidential speeches, how they try to orchestrate the crowd so it's more favorable towards them. So it would not be surprising if, Biden's team somehow got a bunch of, white suburban cul-de-sac neoliberals to come to this AME church and praise him for absolutely nothing. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Let's watch that again, because Joe Biden's reaction was just utterly hysterical.
You really care about the lives lost here, and you should honor the lives lost and call for a ceasefire in Palestine.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
I was honestly hoping that Joe Biden would pull the same stunt they did on that radio show when he was campaigning in 2020, that, hey, if you're not respectful in a black church, then obviously you're not black. Like, I was waiting for one of those moments to come out. You're not chanting 4 more years in a black church while I'm standing here, then you're not black. Okay? You're not a person of color. You're a bad person. You must be one of those white Trump Republicans. I was kind of waiting for one of those moments, but this is even more hilarious. Priceless.
Thank you. Look, folks.
Oh, he is so lost. He is so lost. He thought he was going to tell the telling story of how, he fought in Vietnam with my good buddy Bubba, and we were in the trenches talking about different kinds of shrimp. And all these people were saying words at me. Jenny, help me. Help me, Jenny. But of course, Joe Biden goes with the latter. And like Jake Shields pointed out, there's other people that are truly running the country. And Biden decides to go with them because he's absolutely clueless. Biden drafts $100 billion. $100 billion foreign aid package, including money for Israel and Ukraine. And let me just remind people that Maui hasn't received a dime yet. Maui hasn't gotten anything. The people that are living on the streets haven't gotten anything yet. That COVID response that you're going to get in the pandemic, if you shut everything down, the government was going to take care of you. They haven't really gotten a damn thing. They got told to screw you, F off, and go ride it out. But Israel, Ukraine, Taiwan, Haiti, doesn't matter. As long as we're enacting war and slaughtering each other, then of course you're going to get some money. It wouldn't surprise me if the government started handing out, money to serial killers. As long as someone's killing each other, then everything's good. We'll just invest in it. We're investing in the slaughter of millions of people because that's what we did for 20 plus years. We'll continue to do so. We were warned about this in the early 60s, and we'll just profit as much as possible. until there's one last man standing, or woman, or whoever. That's astonishing. That's astonishing. It just goes to show, not only the emptiness of Joe Biden, but also the emptiness of the crowd. Because they're chanting 4 more years of what? 4 more years of what? What exactly has Joe Biden done that's so deserving of an applaud like that? What exactly is the exact motive that you had to chant 4 more years of Joe Biden? Because we've seen the polls, we've seen how people react to Joe Biden, and Joe Biden is the least popular president going right now. He has such low approval rating. So where exactly are you going to find a church full of people to applaud 4 more years for this buffoon? But it could have been a psyop. It could have been a psyop.